In this video, I will take you through Microsoft PowerPoint, which is one of the examples of presentation software, and we will learn how to add a new slide and change the layouts. We will also learn how to insert a footer, dates, but also page numbers in slides, how to change the design of the presentation, how to apply transition and animation effects, but also how to present series of slides on a projection screen or electronic display. So when you want to do a presentation, you use the template blank presentation. We have a number of templates here. Of course, it depends with the design that you want to use. But I want to start by a blank presentation, and then later we will change the design of this presentation. So when you click, you will see this window, and in this window the first slide, because in presentation we don't use pages like in Word, but we use slides. So I have one slide here, the first slide, which is a title slide. So if you want to add slides, you can decide to use the home tab, and then we have a section of slides. So when I click slides, of course, you can see I had one before, but now I have two slides. Again, if I want to add, I can decide to click new slides, and slides are being added. But also you can decide to change the layout, changing the layout of the slide by using this section here. So when you click, you can see I have a number of the layouts. So depending again with the kind of the layout that I want to use, the one that I prefer, depending with what I want to include in that specific slide. So if you pick any, you will realize that the layout of that slide has changed. So that is how we change the layout of a slide. But also we can do that through insert tab. So in insert tab also we have this section of slides. Therefore we can also decide to change or to add a specific slide or layout of a slide in our presentation. So depending with the kind of the slide that you want to use, when you click that, of course you will have it in your presentation. We can also insert footer, the date, but also the page number in a slide. So for us to do that, still at insert tab, let's go to this section here, text, and then we have header and footer. When you click header and footer, you will see this dialog box. In this dialog box, we have two options. One, we applying this header and footer to a slide or notes and handout. So to slides, we can only apply a footer. We can only add a footer to a slide. But when it comes to notes and handout, we can add both the header and the footer. So since we are doing slides here, we will activate or check the box for the footer, but also we want to include the date. So you check the box for the date and time. We need also to specify if we want this date to be updated automatically, or we want a fixed date. So if we want updated or a date that will be updated will be updated automatically. We will check that box. If we want the one for fixed, we check that, but also the slide number and then footer. So footer, we can write something here. Let me type David DC Tech, and then apply all. Finally apply all. So once that is done, you can see here we have the date, today's date. We have also the footer, David DC Tech, and finally we have the page number in all the slides, that we have, all the slides that we have. So for us to change now the design of the presentation, we will need to go to, or we will have to go to design tab, and then we have different designs here. So in these different designs, we just need to pick the one again we prefer. So the one that we prefer. Once we pick a specific design, of course our presentation will have that kind of a design. And then we have transition and animation. So the transition, or a slide transition, is how one slide is removed from the screen, and and the next slide is displayed during a presentation. And then for animation, that is a transition. But for animation, an animation is a special effect that applies to a single element on a slide, and therefore we use transition in slides, but animation, we use this kind of an effect in a single element on a slide. And therefore, let's start with the transition. Let me apply some transition in the slides that I'm having here. So the first slide transition that I want to use, let me pick from here. So let me pick fracture, and then the second slide, let me use a different transition. Let me use wind, and then the third one, reveal, and then the fourth one, let me use glitter. So those are some of the slide transition that I have applied in this template that I'm having. And then for the animation, we can't apply animation if we don't have these specific elements like text. So let me use this slide, that is slide 2, and in this slide let me add some content here. So let me type living stroke universal values, and then in these values let me have a number of values. One is peace, love, humility, and then respect. Also let me have happiness. Yes, I think that is enough. So I have these living or universal values here. So I want to apply animation in these different elements, this text. So I will have to highlight or to select, if let me start actually with the title here. Let me highlight the title and then go to animation. For animation, let me use float in, that is the title, and then this the first value piece, let me use split, and then the second one wipe, the third one bounce, yes, then the fourth one Let me use another animation, floating also. And then finally, let me also highlight the last value. Let me use swivel. So I have applied different, of course, effects in these specific elements in this slide. So for us to see both the transition and animation, we have to go to a slideshow. We cannot be able to see the effect that we have applied if we don't go to slideshow. And that is the last thing that I said we will look today, that is presenting a series of slides on a projection screen or electronic display. For us to achieve that, we will go to slideshow, and then from slideshow we have to decide if we want to do the presentation from the beginning or from the current slide. So I want to use from beginning, or to select from beginning, and that is now the presentation of this slide. Then if I go to the next slide, you can see what is happening in this specific slide. Second slide, we had some elements, and the first element was the title, followed by now the first value, the second living value, third living value, fourth living value, and finally the fifth living value. And you can see the animation that we applied in each and every element. These elements are being displayed, having the effect that we have applied. Going to the next slide, you can see how these slides are being removed from the screen, and the next slide is displayed during this presentation, and this is the last slide. So that is all from what I had mentioned that we will cover in this very tutorial. And therefore, I'd like to say thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also hitting the notification bell for updates and more useful tutorials.